This is the first time a meeting of G20 foreign ministers has taken place on African soil, with South Africa holding the presidency of the grouping of the world's largest economies.
You see South Africans, you see Ghanaians. These two sets of people have all it takes to make noise in streets, to be proud and loud, but they don't. What am I trying to say in essence? You see, what South Africans have, what Ghanaians have, if Nigeria has 1/4 of such things, nobody in Africa would hear anything but Nigerians.
Hi everyone, welcome to Ghana Observer. I came across this Chimdi's or ACE's video and it got me thinking about several things. He mentioned Ghana and South Africa. Most people by now know that Ghanaians, we don't really talk about ourselves. That's why I'll say people are shocked that, they come to Ghana and they are like, wow. And we are, as I always say, we are grateful that people love our country as much as we do and like sharing what they experience. Once they visit, most want to share their positive experiences. And Ghanaians will forever be grateful for that. I wanted to focus on South Africa. And before I get there, I get to what I want to discuss. This came to me because of sometimes the meanness that Nigerians, let me put some, or most Nigerians treat others. Because that's what sometimes baffles me. I don't even think you are aware of it, because with some of the videos I've shared and how your fellow Nigerians actually are trying to explain why you are the way you are, that's things like bullying and how bullying is rewarded, how oppressing people is rewarded. So I think sometimes you are not even aware of how you come across. It's only now that countries, like I will say for Ghana, for the longest time we let it slide, because we won't, as I said, we won't come out and start talking about Ghana so much. But when you come for us, then, as our national anthem says, bold to defend forever our precious Ghana and also our pledge. We will uphold the good name of Ghana. And that's the side that you see. We might be fewer than 35 million, but when you come for our beloved Ghana, then you see the full force of Ghanaians. But all that aside, I think sometimes the viciousness with which you attack some Nigerians, or most Nigerians attack others, and then when you call them out, they will claim it's only banter and it's only cruising, we're cruising, you guys don't get us, that's what we do to each other. But that's bullying. You bully people and then claim people are jealous or envious of you. For what? So now that brings me to the subject of what Chimdi was discussing. Nigeria is asking for South Africans' help, among other things, that South Africa advocates for them to become members of G20 and BRICS.
I am proud to recall that since the establishment of this all-important binational commission in 1999, the relations between our two brotherly countries have grown leaps and bounds. With the achievements recorded so far, this current session has further provided the impetus for exploring wide-ranging opportunities and benefits that will be mutually beneficial and long-lasting. It is my pleasure, therefore, to participate in the BNC for the very first time. The current meeting of being the 11th session signifies that we have had 10 regular meetings of this nature where we identified and targeted several areas of cooperation and partnerships that have helped to reposition our countries as the two leading economies in Africa. Although I may be new to this process, the import and strategic nature of Nigeria-South Africa bilateral relations is not lost on me at all. It is not about familiarity, fondness, or friendship. It is a fraternity. And a bond built on years of association, mutual respect, confidence and belief in the uniqueness of our common destiny as natural leaders on the continent. I must commend the Honorable Minister, the senior officials for their doggedness and untiring efforts in producing the agreed meetings of the working groups, as well as the communique which we are going to be looking at today, and which we shall pass on to our principals tomorrow. The long hours and efforts we have put into it show how far patriotism and love for your fatherland can drive you. But we are not done yet. Let us keep the spirit high until we cross the finish line. My brother, your Excellencies, I must stress that Nigeria is prepared to explore new vistas of cooperation with the Republic of South Africa on various spheres. Apart from exploring opportunities in the co-financing of infrastructural projects capable of benefiting our two economies, we are seeking collaboration with South Africa in capacity development in the area of certification of Nigerian mining geologists and other professionals in that field. To this end, we have prepared a draft MOU for the consideration of South Africa. We hope that the derivable benefits from this arrangement would help to enhance the capacity of our mining professionals to become globally competitive.
A BRICS summit has been held in 2023. South Africa was the country that advocated for them to become, is it an observer or something? They're not full-blown members yet, and it takes time to join BRICS. The World Cup has been held in South Africa. Successful, for the whole world to see. And most recently, the G20 meeting was held there. So they have a lot to brag about, but they don't disturb us. Apart from all the other things that they win, they have a lot to be proud of. And that brings me to another thing of how Nigerians try to separate the black South Africans from the white South Africans. And this is just me pondering as to why the viciousness. Why? But you want to be loved and accommodated by them. You cannot be mean. There's this saying that you draw more with honey than with vinegar. I always say all of us Africans were dealt with a hand that the colonial, I don't like calling them masters, the colonial monsters dealt us all with. For South Africans, it happens that they are a multicultural country and they'll figure it out. So why is it that you use that when you want to belittle them or to talk down at them? Why is that? Because the same thing, you were dealt a hand, Nigeria, which is, you guys are always complaining that Yoruba is different from Hausa, is different from Igbo, and you were all brought together. So each respective African country has its own problems that dates back to the colonial time or apartheid era or period. So why, use things that people are trying to work on to insult? And when you get the same energy back, you don't understand. You cannot be a bully and be loved by people. And as I always say, you have to self-reflect and have some deep introspection. And now people are clapping back strong. Because you can only go so far with those tactics. And it's worn very thin. And especially with that labeling of xenophobia. That is so lame and so over. Like African, we are over it. We are over it. Because what Nigerians do in other countries, no one can do in their country. Nobody can misbehave the way Nigerians misbehave in other countries. There's no way. Your own personalities, the way you are pushy, that bullying attitude, and you know it. It's just an excuse when you can come and see how they are working happily. We don't even ask them because they don't even want to confess that they are from another country. They don't want to be bothered. So if people are around not projecting who they are openly and being pushy, it's because they're like, let me just stay in my tranquil, peaceful corner and mind my business. But folks, share your thoughts as to what you think about this. Because when I saw this video, it came to me. On the world's platform, South Africa has really showcased itself and represented Africa well. And this meanness that Nigerians have a propensity to black South Africans. What are you trying to say? But you are the very people who want a united Africa, who are the very people who are like, Africa unite, black people should love black people. Yeah. And how about this little clip that you had circulating on TikTok? You have to know that South Africa went to DRC on a peace mission. They went there to fight. They went there as fighters. They went to keep the peace. They were peacekeepers. They went there in the fighting mode, and to use this against them, and then you want people. It baffles me, and I'm glad some Nigerians are beginning to explain your psyche, because it's different from others. So this really helps people like Chimdi and some of the others who try and explain how you guys think and operate. It's really helpful. But anyway, share your thoughts in the comment section. I'd love to hear your feedback. Folks, I'm going to end it here. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.